I have become so damn consistent with gym, jiu-jitsu and YouTube, it's not even funny. Over the last 3 years, I've only missed a handful of sessions, and it was almost always due to injury that just comes with the territory. As a consequence, I've gone from this to this, this to this, and this to this. So here are the 8 secrets I use to become dangerously consistent in anything I want, so you can use these secrets as well. Let's get into it. I want you to imagine the start of every year. January, everybody's getting together, friends, family, and you set big goals. You get motivated. I'm gonna get a 6-pack this year. I'm gonna make a lot of money this year, and you plan it out. Now, there's nothing wrong with actually setting goals and reviewing the past year, but herein lies the trap, and you see it most clearly in gyms, where people come in with huge motivation and they adopt a routine or a training plan that is a little bit too extreme. They start with a lot of volume, and then over time they realize with work and other stuff it's hard to sustain, and they fall off for a few weeks. They come back again, they realize their progress has gone away, so they have to work up the motivation to go again, and it's this endless cycle of starting and stopping. So what do you actually do in order to become consistent is the exact opposite of this. Instead of starting with big motivation, you actually want to control and limit what your motivation will want you to do. You want to say, I'm gonna walk only once a week. I'm gonna train only once a week. Something very, very small. This is exactly what I did when I started jiu-jitsu. I knew that every single day I will want to go because I innately love sports, and you want to get better faster. And at the beginning, you just want to go and go and go. But I knew from my experience in gym that everything that I rushed at the start, I'd fizzle out. So I said, you know what? I want to do this for 10 years. So I'm just going to train 3 times a week like I did for gym, and I'm going to intentionally hold myself back. And honestly, it's been the biggest hack, because I've seen so many people come and go, even in the jiu-jitsu gym, with big motivation. They come in, they train every day, they sweat it out, and I don't see them again. And the guys that trained with me 3 times a week, we're here 3 years later together. So use this tip to inverse what I call the beginner's motivation trap. Next, whatever it is that you want to do, 1, 2, or 3 times a week is the sweet spot for most people. Once a week, for instance, I stuck to that cadence when it came to producing YouTube videos, because it does require a lot of work in terms of thinking, in terms of editing, in terms of recording. So once a week was a good cadence. With health and fitness, 3 times a week is the sweet spot, because you get the perfect balance of progress and rest. And I've used that, like I said, in jiu-jitsu and gym to great effect. And this is what I call a minimalist routine, because you're doing less than what people normally recommend. And in so doing, you build momentum and rhythm. When you stay consistent over a long period of time, you're going to figure out a lot of different things. Other people might figure out earlier than you, and you might feel like, oh my god, I got there slower, I didn't know this like you did when I first started. Doesn't matter, because over the long enough horizon, if you're the person that keeps showing up, you're gonna catch up to all of those people and you're gonna overtake them. Don't go super hard. Build out a minimalist routine that is just 3 times a week if it's a health and fitness based thing, or just once a week even if it's more of a project-based thing. This cadence works really well, because when you do things less, you start to actually look forward to them. You start to think, it's actually easy to do this. Let me do a little more. That's what you're looking for. Now, if you want the minimalist training routine that I use to stay consistent for over 3 years, then you can grab Aesthetic Body Blueprint down below. It takes 3 hours a week. You train 3 times a week. It's absolutely perfect for those guys that are busy but still want to look good. Next, when I started tracking my habits, I wrote down 7 things that I wanted to do each day. It was like write something, film something, post something, help my clients, move and exercise, meditate and visualize. I started tracking these, and I found that with move and exercise, visualization, writing, especially those 3, I was super consistent. And then with filming and posting and giving value and meditating, those were just starting to fall off. And I was like, what is the actual difference between the consistency in the first group of activities? And I found something astonishing, which is all of those things that I was super consistent with, they were attached to a time of day. So the writing I used to do as soon as I woke up, the first work I do is just write something. It's like morning pages, where you just don't have any big expectation about coming up with some amazing text. You just write whatever's on your mind, you just blurb it out. It's the first thing, 9 a.m. every morning. So it got done. Then when I finished with that, I would gym, or I would go to jiu-jitsu like clockwork at 11 a.m. That was super consistent. And the move and exercise was that, but also the walks that I penned in for 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. depending on the season was just getting done. So everything I attached to a time was just getting done. But all the other stuff that I hadn't attached to a time in the day, it was falling off the wayside. I had to rely a lot on willpower and on memory to do this. Whereas if you just attach it to a time of day, you become essentially a robot that just executes the program at a certain part. This is a very, very powerful thing you can do. So if there's something you want to be consistent with, put it in your calendar, put it even just somewhere where you track the time, and just do it at the same time every single day. Next, you have to protect that slot on the calendar. There's no point you putting a training slot or a dinner with parents a slot in the calendar and then just like your friend calls or some guy just says, hey, let's hang out, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I'll just move my training session to accommodate this other thing. Are there certain emergencies? Are there some situations in life where that might happen? Of course, but generally speaking, you have to protect those slots that you want to be consistent with like some sacred slot. If somebody wants to have an appointment there, somebody wants to have a conversation there, just no, I'm just busy at that time. Most people that have a job, if somebody just says, hey, let's go for a drink, and you say, no, I got work, I can't go drink with you, it's like 2 p.m. I have work. That's exactly what you have to do with training in the gym if your health is an important thing, or whatever else you want to be consistent with, which essentially means you got to get better at saying no to people, and this includes your closest friends and family. At first, you might feel a little bit of discomfort because you're like, oh, this is going to cause a big scene, it's going to be a conflict. But quickly, the more times you do this, the more times you realize people push your boundaries less, the more times you set them, and people actually care less about you setting boundaries than you think. You think you say something, everyone's going to freak out and start insulting you, but usually it never happens. Just say no. Big lesson that I had to learn. Next, for the past 3 years, I've posted every single bloody weekend on Sunday like clockwork, and it's not an easy thing to do. How have I done that? Other than applying all these things that I've already shared, this one thing is a game changer. So I come in to this studio, and when I want to record, I literally click, sit, open, done. It takes about 10 seconds to 30 seconds to go from not filming to filming, because I've placed the microphone here, the camera's right there, my MacBook always sits here, the lights here, the 2 backlights are there. I go click, open, done. And I don't eat here, even though it's very nice to eat at this table because the view's quite nice over there. I don't even eat here because we tried it a couple times and I said, I don't want to set up my studio and my camera every single time. It's going to increase the friction. This place is a workplace. I'm not going to eat here. So I've protected that space and I've minimized the friction, the number of steps I need to take to achieve the goal. Sometimes it's the smallest things that will take you off track. Let's say you want to go to the gym and you have a specific lifting strap that you really use on your back days, your pull days. You left it somewhere or you don't have it and you're looking for it, and the time passes 15 minutes and you're like, I don't know where the lifting strap is. I'm not going to get a good workout in if I don't have it. Maybe I'll just do the thing tomorrow. I wonder where it is, and it just puts you in the wrong mood. All these little things start to add up and it maximizes the friction, and you're like, yeah, let me not do this. You have to do this because humans are creatures of resistance. When resistance is big, you'll naturally try to avoid it. So minimize resistance. Next, did you ever have to stay consistent with playing computer games? I was very much into Dota 1 in high school, and I used to play with my friends, and you had to physically stop us from playing. Like the boarding school masters would come in and like confiscate the laptops because we'd be playing deep into the night. We'd be playing every day. 5-a-side football, we used to play every single day. Nobody had to tell us, hey, you got to be consistent with your football. So what's the secret ingredient? The true secret ingredient to long-term consistency is fun and enjoyment. If you actually enjoy the bloody thing, you are unstoppable. Anything and everything you do, it's not actually possible to enjoy it each and every moment of your life. Even professional soccer players that love soccer, they wouldn't love every minute of being the professional athlete because there'll be times where they'll have to train when it's raining, when it's not fun. But on the whole, if you can maximize the period where you're enjoying yourself and minimize the period where it feels like a chore, obviously this is going to help you stay consistent. Now, when you actually look at things you enjoy, there's goals and then there's rules and then there's a certain progress as well as a non-attachment to outcome. I want you to play around with these 4 ideas to make the activity that you do fun. The philosophers that talk about play as some kind of world we enter where we obey different rules together, and that's what makes it a fun experience. There are the goals. If you don't have goals, then it doesn't become fun. So in the gym, you should have strength goals. On jiu-jitsu, you should have goals to do with how well you perform. Maybe the belts become a goal for a lot of people. When you got stronger in the gym and when you finally could do a chin-up, when you finally could do a push-up or dips, like, it becomes fun, right? Your eyes light up. You're like, I actually enjoy this. And in fact, one of the biggest reasons people fall off track and become inconsistent is because they don't see progress. So after a while, they're like, why am I even doing these heavy exercises if I'm not seeing any progress? Progress is such a big part of fun. And the final component is, if you're too obsessed with the short-term result, every day wondering, why don't I look as good as the next guy that I saw on Instagram? Why is my belly fat not disappearing even though I've tried all the tips that they gave me? And every day you're obsessing over that number on the scale, that can take the fun out of it. Because sometimes not attaching yourself to the outcome, but still being appreciative, enjoying the journey and looking at the long term, that could actually add to a sense of fun and enjoyment. Those components are what give you fun in a certain activity, which is going to boost your consistency. And this is exactly what I help my clients achieve in the fitness arena. If you want to enjoy working out, if you want to enjoy the diet, if you want to make it fun and also get progress so you stay motivated, then you can apply to do this entire fitness process with me, building muscle, losing fat, staying consistent, doing it in an enjoyable way. I'll leave a link to apply for my coaching below if that's what you want. The next thing is a little bit of an irony, because it doesn't sound fun, but it's actually what makes it fun. You know, when you play games, like let's say you play a Nintendo Pokemon game, but the process is so repetitive. You just go in there with your Pikachu, with your Charmander, and you're just pressing this one button, beating this thing, leveling up, level 6, level 7, level 8, you learn this move, level 9. Every time it's super repetitive, and in some cases, looking on from the outside, it might look really boring, but because you're seeing your progress, like level 5, level 6, level 7, you unlock this, you unlock this, it keeps us hooked. Now, the same thing can happen in anything else that you do, as long as you track progress. You set clear milestones and you're like, I got 5 reps, I'm gonna get 6 next time. I got 6, I'm gonna get 7. And this is exactly what happened when I started tracking my progress. I would see, okay, my bicep curls went from 7 to 8. And the next day when it went from 8 to 9, I felt the same thing that I would feel that would keep me hooked on those computer games. Tracking your progress, even though it can seem very nerdy, it can seem very like, why would you do this? It's so boring. I promise you, when you're seeing progress week to week and you start flicking back the pages or scrolling up the Excel and you see, my God, my weight has dropped 4 kg in the last month because I followed these things and this is how it went up and down, you start to actually see the bigger picture and enjoy it. If there's something you want to be consistent with, bring some element of tracking. And this is actually how you create what I call internal feedback loops that will keep you consistent. Next is what I learned from Eckhart Tolle, the spiritual master. And he says there are 3 states where you can really be present, and it's enthusiasm, enjoyment, and acceptance. Enthusiasm is when you're completely immersed, there's nothing else you'd rather do, and it's easy to stay consistent at that time because you just love it. You're just first getting into it, or you had this peak experience and you just want to keep going. Overall, enthusiasm and enjoyment, when you're really enjoying it, it's really easy to stay consistent. But Eckhart Tolle says when those states are not there, the best thing you can do is acceptance. You can accept the moment for what it is, even if it's not ideal, and just focus on showing up. This is what I've done to stay consistent. It's the true secret. When I do jiu-jitsu, there are periods when I'm absolutely obsessed, searching every video on the internet and just dying and thinking about going to the next session. But there are other periods where I'm just enjoying it and not that excited. And then there are periods where I'm like, do I even want to go? And I know, okay, this is the acceptance phase now. My enthusiasm has waned. It will come back. And now it's just the acceptance phase where I'm just going to focus on showing up. I'm not going to try to be the best. I'm not going to, watch all these videos. I don't even want to go that much, but all I do is just put in the work 3 times a week. Same with gym. There are times, right now is a period where I'm setting PRs and really enjoying the gym. But my God, there are lots of periods where I feel like I don't really want to go. I don't even enjoy it. And when that's the case, I just say, it's the acceptance phase. Let me just enjoy it. So these waves of enthusiasm and enjoyment, they ebb and flow. Be okay with that and enter into these periods of what Eckhart Tolle calls acceptance, where even if you're not absolutely loving every minute of it, you just say, hey, I'm in the acceptance phase. I'm just going to focus on showing up. I don't have to enjoy it. And lo and behold, what happened every single time is that the enjoyment and enthusiasm phase comes back. And when it comes back, you appreciate it, you got it, you love it, but you also know this too shall pass. And it's just this endless cycle. And that is how you build true lasting consistency, to become dangerously consistent so that you can improve at whatever you do and get the results that you want. I hope this video helped you. If it helped you, leave me a comment below, share it with a friend who's also trying to get consistent, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.